Welcome to Timberborn. Humans are long gone. Will your lumberpunk beavers do any better? This is a city building game featuring our ingenious animals, the vertical architecture, the river control, and managing the deadly droughts. Our beavers will survive. Careful though, this game contains high quantities of wood. So anyways, we're going to get a new game started here. We're going to start off with the Folktales Faction. They're easygoing but hardworking. They're expert farmers. They respect nature. It rewards them with plentiful bounties. Their motto is comfort, food, and sturdy wood. We're going to play on the plains. It is the default map for this game. It is the recommended map for this game, but there are many others as well as you can make custom maps. We'll get into that maybe in another series. But for now, we're going to start out on the plains map. We're also going to go on normal, just because it's going to be a nice chill series. We're going to try and build a nice looking beaver colony as well as survive. I'm thinking about 10 cycles. That's normally when I start to struggle. So we'll see how she goes. It's a very pretty game. I love the artwork on this screen. I love the remnants of the old civilization and our hard-working beavers carrying their logs down below. And then in the background, you can see their beautiful city center. What would you like to call your settlement? This is easy. We're the Saltborn. That's all you need. So you can see all your little beavers pop out here. They all love to just hang out when they don't have jobs to do, but we're going to get them some jobs right away. So it's a pretty intuitive game. Right click lets you go all over the place, scroll in and out, WSAD to move, pretty standard. Now what I like to do pretty early in the game is get some logs going. You want to get some water going, as well as you need to get your food going. So down here, cut trees. We're going to want to mark our tree cutting area. We're going to cut all those trees down. Now, if you want to cut those jobs or those trees down, you got all your jobs down here. We obviously are going to be cutting down some wood. So let's start with a few lumberjack flags out here. Maybe about 3 of them. Now, if you'll notice, when you click on a building, you can see this little blue outline area over here. That's our buildable area. So our builders, which is Zufum and Angie, they're going to come over here and they're going to start building down some of those lumberjack flags. But wait a minute. The building range, not far enough. Well, when you make some paths here, you'll notice it extends. So what I like to do pretty early game is try and get these paths spread out in kind of a northeast, south, and west direction, just to ensure that we're kind of maximizing our space. See, we've got some stairs over here in order to get to this thing, so we're going to want to keep our pathway to there nice and true. And since we've already got a line going here, we might as well just precursor going up there. So now that these 3 lumber flags have been built, we've got a couple of our beavers in here. They're going to come down here, and you can see our boy Pakel just cut down a tree, and they're just bringing it back over here. Now, another important thing you need very early game is water. So we're going to go to our water pump. We're going to place down a water pump over here, and we're going to have to connect up the door to the path. Perfect. So that's going to get some water going. And then we're going to need some early game food. Berries are perfect for that. So we're going to come down to food, grab our gatherer flag, and you can see this has a huge range. So we're just going to place it over here. Now, maybe with the stairs, it might be smart to grab over here. Yeah, so if we put it over here, we're going to be able to get this whole area down here, as well as a good amount out to the west. Now, if we put it up here, we can get all of it. So I think that might actually be the move here. So let's get those berries going. Now, this is going to take logs, so you can see we've got some of our builders carrying our logs. Now, another thing, we've got 2 unemployed beavers. So early game, you can get your beavers employed. We're going to have extra builders, and they're going to come down here, and they are going to build this water pump. So as we're cutting down trees, another thing you're going to want to do is you're going to need to have somewhere to store that. Now, early on in the game, you want to kind of have an idea of where you're going to maybe put a dam, maybe set up your farm. I'm thinking we might want to set up our dam, right around here. This is a nice shallow or short width from like maybe here to here. Actually, it's all about the same, so really doesn't matter. This is pretty short, but I would rather keep all the water. And then another great dam location would be like right here. So you can really save up some water. But we don't have the technology for those dams yet, because in order to do that, you need a levee. And that costs science points, which we don't have any yet. And science points are also very important because under our wood category right here, you see a forester, plants, trees, and bushes. And right now we don't have a way to grow new trees. So what we're going to be doing is cutting down but not replenishing. So once you get your water and your food situation set up, what you really need to be focusing on is getting the science situation under control. So now you can see we've got 7 employed beavers out of 7. 4 out of 4 in the district center. We've got a couple lumberjackers, but nobody in the water pump. So we're actually going to take away one from the district center. I paused there just so we didn't struggle. And it looks like Angie is now a water pumper. So Angie's going to be pumping her log up and down, getting some water. And you see we just jumped up 1 out of 15. So now we've got a little bit of water stored away. We are lacking builders, another builder again, because now we need our berry farmer. So Quagasok is now a berry farmer. So now that we're doing all that, I think our next priority should definitely be a science building. And science is down here, and there's only one thing under science. This game is early alpha, so I believe, or early access, sorry, and I believe they will be upgrading more features soon. It's only a team of, I think, 5 or so programmers, so it might take a while. So I like to put my inventor hut as close to the dry area as possible. Now you can see here, this is going to fill up with water. So if I come up here and demolish this, and we're going to set this to high priority, I'll speed up just a little bit. You can see we've got Zufim coming over here, demolishing this. And in a second, I think we should see some water flowing here, which means our green area, as night descends, we've got a bigger green area here. So none of this, because eventually we can get a dam or something in here, none of this we want to put a science on. So this little patch right here is going to be great for things like storage and science. So let's put I keep hitting the little power icon. So we can tuck in a building here. Now how many can we fit? 1, 2, and then a little path. So maybe we'll go to here. We'll just put 1 in for now, but I just want to keep a little bit of space in the back in case we want to wrap around the entire building. Early game, I like to do an 18-hour workday up here. You can set their workday 24 hours, 6 hours, depending on how much work you want to give them. So through the night, there's really not much to do. None of the beavers are working. Unfortunately, they are all homeless. We're going to get them some homes eventually. But what we really want to work on as soon as humanly possible is getting that forester set up. So good morning in Saltborough. Our beavers are bringing their logs over to the inventor hut, and they are going to get set up with some science. So we are at 8 of 12 right now. Let's jump to 3 speed just so we can see them. Beautiful. And we've got a very nice adventurer's hut. And Jariaya is now our scientist. So we've got no unemployed beavers. Our science points are going to go up at some point. 70, 80%, 90%. Come on, Jariaya. 100%. And now you can see in the upper left-hand corner, we do have some science points. So what are we doing here? What are we sitting on our... Okay, so you can see here, we've got Pakel just sitting on their butt here because they're full on logs. So that stands to reason. We're going to need some log storage. And I like to put the log storage right next to our lumber area. So we'll set her down over here. And I think eventually the forester is going to go over here. And then we will be able to put our log pile here is just fine. We'll use this path that we set up back here and maybe tuck the forester away in the back. So that will be very good. And the reason I'm going to put it here is because as the trees grow and we go into the dry season, we'll be able to allow this to run out, and we'll be able to put more uh, trees here because they can last, the maple trees can last 15, 16 days without any water. So if we have any droughts, this is going to be the first area to go thanks to this little pocket here. So we're up to 9 science. We have 113 food and 2 water. So we're not really storing water anywhere. So what I think we're going to want to do is store some water relatively close. So this is going to be some pretty temporary stuff. We're going to be just storing a little bit of water because as we keep going on this, I think we're going to want to get a farmhouse going. We're going to start a farmhouse. I'm thinking we put her right about here. Maybe we put her a little closer here. So I'm thinking a storage building right here. So if we put one here, we'll be able to get a little farm. And I'm thinking a carrot farm that's, so this is about 3 by 10. That's like 30 tiles. Let's go about that. That's probably about 50 carrots. And I think that's a good number to start with. And I'd like to get potatoes going pretty quickly. Potatoes, you do need a little bit larger size population because you're going to need a grill as well. They need a little bit extra food processing. So if you look over here, the carrots satisfy some basic needs and basic nutrition, and they take 4 days to grow. The potatoes take 6 days to grow, and wheat takes 10. Now, in order to eat those potatoes, you need to grill them, and each potato gives you 4, but it gives you some extra hunger. And then in order to do the wheat, you need a bakery and a grist mill because you got to grind up the wheat into flour, and then the flour gets baked into bread. It's very efficient, but it does take a long time to get built. I'm going to set this forester to high priority here. We're almost at that point where we're ready to start thinking long-term futures here. We're going to have to probably get rid of a lumberjack and maybe add a builder. Although I think we could probably go down a builder, to be honest, because we only need really one farmhand, and they'll be able to get all of this area planted relatively quickly. And we've got berries in the meanwhile, so I think we're doing okay. Little hungry here and there. Are we just storing food up here? Yeah, we would be storing food up here because actually we don't have a warehouse yet. So let's get our small warehouse built, and I think I'm going to do. I think we'll just put it right up against the corner here. So the farmhouse should be built in the morning, as well as the small warehouse will be built next. We'll put this water at a slightly lower priority so that they can make sure they're building things a little bit more efficiently. So now you can see here Rajan is going to be planting our carrots, and I like to always set the prioritize action to planting. It just keeps things constantly planting rather than they harvest the whole field, then replant the whole field. It doesn't take too much extra time, but I'm sure there's benefits to doing both. And Rajan actually grew up this morning and is immediately our farmer. So Rajan is the ripe young age of 6 years old, and Rajan is already farming. Good for them. Okay, so now you can see I'm going to do a quick pause here. Now, if we looked it up, carrot takes 4 days to grow. Rajan's just going to sit there until day 8 now. So we're going to go ahead and pause that until we see that ready to go. You can pause by hitting up here, or you can hit P on your keyboard. So now we're just cruising by. We've got our small warehouse built. We have nearly 40 science. We're almost on our way to having enough to get our forester. And I think it's just in time because really we don't have a ton of logs left over here. So what I'm actually going to do is plant another lumberjack flag. This one's going to be temporary until all this gets cut down. But we're gonna trash one of these up here. And then they're going to be building this one in the morning here because I don't believe we have anything else set to be built. I'm going to do a quick time lapse here while we push through the night. Now, early game, what you do want to set up is probably your first dam. And I'm thinking we dam across here. We just had another grown up, Janavako. I'm just going to say the name how I think it. So if I say these very wrong, I'm very sorry. But we have 2 unemployed. We're going to get a dam going, I think. So I think our dam, we're just going to go straight across like this. Now that's a little bit extra material, but I would like to keep more green area. So maybe we do, I'm trying to just find I mean, maybe here is probably the move I'm thinking. So let's put our dam here. That's going to require a lot of wood. Because each one of these dam pieces is 20 wood. We've got, let's see, we've got 6, 7. So 7 times 2 is 14. Add the 0, we're going to need 140 wood. We've barely got half of that. We are day 5 here. And then a nice thing you could do, you could put pass on top of this in case we want to get to the other side. So I just keep that there for future references. And you'll notice that Johnakov is coming all the way over here to cut down some trees, move some wood. That's because we'd never set this area as a lumber cutting area. So we'll get this set to cut down, and Johnakov should come over here and start cutting down some logs. We do have 2 builders as well as 2 unemployed. We might as well jump up to 4 builders just to see if we can get this dam by the dry season. It's probably not going to happen just based on the amount of wood that we have, but you never know. So planning for the future, we've got 57 science in the morning. We might even hit it. Let's see, where are we at? No, we're not going to hit it tonight, unfortunately. So we're going to kind of plan for the future right now. I'm going to want to place this forester in. It's a similar building size of the science hut. So if we come right here, I think we will actually be able to put it right here. I might have to go 2 further and kind of put it parallel behind it and have the entrance be right here. But we'll see what the range looks like, and I'd really like to get this area filled with some maple trees and maybe a few birches just to keep us jump started. Although we do have a lot of trees up here, so I'm thinking the maples might be the way to go. And the differences between those are the birches, they give you 1 log, but they only take 9 days to grow. The pines give you 2 logs with 12 days, and at 24 whopping days, you get 8 logs. So if you have the wood and the patience, run the game, go make a sandwich, do what you got to do, you can then just get your maple trees grown. So you can see we're going to get our forester here. It costs 60 science points. And our doorway is on the right. So if we put it right here, it does only give us this much range. So I'm thinking this, I mean, look at the difference in the blue area. So this is going to fill up a fair amount. Whereas I've put it here, it's really limiting our space. So that we're only sacrificing a little bit of space. I think that is the move. Oh, no, wait, logs and planks. Okay, so this is where the fun comes in. There's electricity. We have 2 forms of power we can use as the Folktale Faction. We have power wheels. Well, both factions have power wheels and water wheels, but we have some windmills that we can eventually use. Now, I'm thinking we might not make it to the dry season by the time things happen. So I think we're going to use a power wheel. It's going to be a very early game thing. We will set up over here for now. Actually, maybe we set up on the other side. We're planning for the future right now. Now, see, we're going to need to use the dam. So we're not planning for the future now. Now we're just planning to get some stuff done. So priority-wise, what I would like to do really here is get these set as high priority. These are going to take a good amount of logs, 40 plus 15. We're going to need 55 logs. We've got 62 in the stockpile. So we really do need to get those built first and foremost. And then they'll be building the forester immediately after that. So looking at our carrots, we said day 8. We are on our way to day 7. We've had another grow up this morning. I must have missed it. We've got Pirabag grew up this morning, is unemployed. I don't even think we have a job for you right now. Maybe we make another forester. And I'm thinking we make a forester up here and start cutting down some of this stuff because we do have the job. Because we might even have another birth, or no, another. Oh, there will be no more births. So the folktales, they'll only grow to their population. So if I don't start building houses as well, we're gonna start seeing some issues. But I'd like to get the forester done first because our beavers are still pretty young. If I just get some random selections, we got a 35-year-old here, we've got a 23-year-old, another 23-year-old, a 9-year-old. Yeah, we're doing fine. We don't need houses right away. So I'm gonna do a quick time lapse on these buildings, and I will see you as soon as it is done. All right, we've got our two buildings going here. Looks like Pirabag immediately took the job over because we didn't get our lumberjacking done in time. And we don't have anybody for the lumber mill, but we do know we have 4 beavers in here. So we're going to unemploy 2 of them because we know eventually we want one to take down the lumber over here, which also means you need to set this lumber to be taken down. I want this whole area. We're just going to do a nice loose highlight over there. So now we are going to be turning our logs into planks, thanks to Pirabag and Zufum, really powering up these buildings. And our log supply is pretty low. Our water supply is doing okay. Priority-wise, we've got this one just set to medium. And honestly, what you should do, unless you're trying to get the dam built ASAP, is set it to like a lower priority so that the things you're building now go just a little bit faster, because you can see over here now Detrukatata is making this lumberjack flag. Didn't get it done before the end of the night, but that is okay. As for the berry farm, we also could use some more berries. Our food is getting a little bit low, but we will have some carrots come morning, it looks like. So I'm thinking we're going to even cut out one more builder, turn our farmhouse back on with just one employee, because we need the other one for the lumber. So morning is on its way. Our sleeping beavers, our very cute sleeping beavers, will rise and they will get straight to work going off on the Beaverton community. Saltborough is going to be running at very high efficiency today. Now Zufum working hard, making us planks. We don't want to make too many. We're at 2 of 7, making our third one in there. You don't want those early game logs to be turned immediately. You can see the speed right here. As you dam up, the speed really increases of the water. So there's some pretty fun water physics in this game. And eventually you get a dam over here, and this entire body of water can be your reservoir. You could even double fill it up if you build a super dam across here and get all of this water filling up very nicely. Next step, look at this. We've got Yamaki harvesting some carrots. You were doing a great job, bud. We've got 3 carrots in stock. Our beavers are going to be eating great tonight. We've got Pirabag and Zufum working hard to make our planks. How many are we at? 4 of 7. I'm going to just keep an eye on that because we really do not want to be making more planks this early game than we absolutely need to. And I think the next thing we're going to be looking to get is probably housing. But I would like to also get this dam done before the dry season comes. I'm not sure that we're going to hit that, but you never know. So you can see as they're going through, this is why you set as planting, because they harvest them and then they will immediately plant them afterwards. Now this one didn't plant immediately afterwards because the working hours did end, but these ones are now already at 10-12% while they're harvesting. So it's good early game, unless you need food. Like if I need food, like if we run out, I'm just gonna set it. You can see they harvest what they can. We'll set it a little slower so you can see it. They plant it. Now, Zufum? No, Yamaki. Yamaki's gonna do a quick plant here as soon as they are done harvesting this carrot. They really do take a little minute. Yeah, maybe they gotta bring it back to the house. So maybe on this one, we'll see. I might not even know what I'm talking about. No, they gotta bring it back each time. But it basically the only difference is they have to go from here to here. So it's really worth it, in my opinion. Honestly, the builders aren't able to move the logs fast enough. So what I might actually do is pause a logging output, and we'll throw another beaver on here. Now, Seems we have lost a job. Lumberjack flags are at 3 of 3. District Center, Farmhouse, Lumber Mill, Power Wheel. Oh, it's because we have a Forester. The Forester is up and running. Purebag is our new Forester. Do we have enough builders? We do have enough builders. So Purebag is actually going to come down here. We're going to plant blueberries over here. Actually, we don't really even need blueberries now that we've got the farm going, so we're good on that. So we're just going to plant this whole area here as maple. And these all have green in them. I think we could even get away with a couple up here. And then we're going to plant these here and these here, saving this area for a science hut and putting them in right there. So now that we have planned for the future, we should see Purebag come out here and start planting some very, very nice maple tree saplings. And these are going to take 24 days to grow. So is it going to be worth it? Absolutely. Is it going to take a while? For sure. Now we've only got 3 left here in order to get them done. That's only 60 logs, and we've got 86 in storage. So what I might also do is pause another one of these, and we'll get another builder on the job. We're going to start looking at housing as well. I want it to be somewhat central. In actuality, we might move this district center a little bit up here because the range is just fine. So why don't we do that now before things get a little too sketchy? So we had 3 builders in there. So now this is a little trick. You don't need to keep the district center where it spawns. You can put it wherever you want. So I'm thinking up here, as long as the range, so you can see the colors, they start to get a little red from the district center, which means your builders do have to travel a little bit further. But this is gonna help us in the long run to get to all of this area. And then maybe we set up using the district gate and making a new district over here or something. This is going to allow us to set up a entirely new colony maybe on this side of the river. So I'm happy with that. It's going to let us build the rest of the dam, make sure that we have 3 beavers here, and this is going to be main Saltington. Saltington, yeah, that works. So that's going to be our main beaver area. We've got 3 jobs. Purebag is no longer our Forester. Forester is now Zufram. We probably had an entirely reshuffle of jobs. Nope, Angie is still our water mage. Mage? What is this, D&D? But yeah, that'll be good. And I think we're going to get this built today. Or not today. We're going to get this built for the dry season because we haven't even had the warning yet. And based on the amount of water this is going to hold, we're going to be able to pump all year round, which is going to be absolutely awesome. Now, one thing that you can do with this water is get a floodgate going. Now, a floodgate is basically a dam that allows you to raise and lower the floodgate. And what you want to do is put one right here. You let this fill up in the wet season, and then you close it, and all of this area over here will stay green. So we're harvesting pretty well over here. We're at 62%. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to get the entire thing harvested. I think we are going to want to think about setting up some housing, probably right over here. So let's see, we can fit double wides if we go here, here. And I want the doors to be on the same side in case we want to build some elevations or something like that. We're going to build 4 little houses here. We've already got 1 house. We only have 7 unemployed or 7 homeless beavers now. Paiki, Vujej, and Yamaki took over that one. Paiki, Quagastock, and Angie took over house number 2. We got 4 homeless beavers for this night. So you can see as the night goes on, our beavers, some of them are falling asleep, but some of them go in the house. They are some thirsty beavers, but I tell you what, guys, we've got plenty of water down here. Plenty of water. Now what I might do is put a small water storage tank just behind here. It is fairly far away, if we're being honest. It's going to be in the red zone, but it's going to allow us to store a little water for right when they go to bed. And Angie will fill up these barrels first. So if they got to go a little further, that's not a big deal. Our third house has been built. Looks like Do we have two pikeys? No, it looks like they're swapping after every house build. Let's see if Pikey, Voyage, and Jariaya are going to still exist in that house when this one is built. Just need a few more logs from the storage pile. They're all coming over here, building the logs up. We need one more log, guys. Okay, so yeah, it looks like they do shuffle around a little bit. Uh, so now we have capacity for 12 beavers. Oh no! I just noticed. How did I not notice this 4 days ago? Ditruka has died of old age. Wow, rest in peace. So it's a good thing we got these houses put up because we are going to start running low on jobs pretty soon, I imagine. We do have a couple more grown-up trees here. These ones aren't really grown up anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and pause this lumberjacking job and resume one over here. And you can see these two popped up. These 2 carrots, 3 carrots, they're popping up before we were able to finish farming everything. So once we get a few more beavers in, we're going to get a second beaver going here. But the nice thing is we are stockpiling berries now that the beavers are prioritizing getting some of those carrots instead. So things are going well. We are just about finished with the dam. Literally just about finished. We need one more log out of the 35 that we do have stored. And it looks like, look at that. Our beavers are happier than ever. We've reached a new well-being high score. Nutrition is a 10 out of 10 for carrots. You need 8 prestige, I guess it is, not 8 out of 10. You need an 8 prestige in order to unlock the Iron Teeth. And there's a couple differences with the Iron Teeth, and maybe after we finish with Saltborough, we will end up going to play a world with the Iron Teeth. But for now, we're going to go with the folktales and see how long we can survive. As I say survive, the 3-day drought warning has appeared. So we are in perfect position as, let's see, who is this? As Pikey comes over, finishes the dam. Absolutely baller move. We're completely set. All of this water, well, up to here, all of that water up to there is going to stay. We're going to be able to pump water through the dry season. We have our little houses built up. We've got a science factory. We've got a forester. We've got our farm. All of this water is going to stay. I was hoping to have the floodgate science-wise by the time we got here. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. We also don't have a ton of population in order to subsidize another inventor's hut in terms of workers, but we might as well get one done just in case we need it. So while we wait for that to get built, this is great. We're just kind of waiting for births here. We need bodies in this community. One thing I might try and do, we're probably good on lumber for a little bit. Maybe get another farmhouse or another farm going. I'm thinking about planting some potatoes here. And one thing I'd like to do is clear out these berries and stuff over here. We don't really need them because our forester isn't really using these. And I think this area right here is primed for the farm. So as our builders come over here, you can see they're going to slowly tear away at some of these bushes, get them cleaned up for us, and we're going to make sure that we can get some potatoes built here. To plant many potatoes. Thinking about 4 rows. That should be good. I'm saving this area right here for more farmhouses, as well as some of the food buildings here, like the grill, the grist mill, maybe eventually, because we can just power it with a power wheel if we want, or we could always hook it up to some of this water down here. We're at 135 science. Honestly, I'm gonna take away a builder, see if we can get them in the science hut. All right, we do have another science hut because I would really like this floodgate by the winter. And I think we're going to jump up to a 20-hour workday because we do have just one more day remaining in order to get to the dry season. I would absolutely love a floodgate here. No idea if we're going to be able to get to that today. We did have a birth 2 days ago. Quavlalax, sure, is now born. That's awesome. That means our community is thriving. We're to 144 science. We're a quarter way into the day. 150 quick pause. I don't know if you heard it on the mic, but I hit it. We're going to get our floodgate. It requires 5 planks. That's exactly what we have, and 10 logs. I need to unlock this. Yes, please. R is how you rotate items in the game. You can spin them around any way you please. We're going to put this right here, and we're going to set this to an absolute banger of a high priority. We're going to pause both science huts, get 2 builders re-employed here, and we're going to try and get this floodgate built by the end of the day. It's going to be rough. They're going to have to go the distance. We're 25% of the way there. We're nearly 50% of the way there. And we are now 100% of the way there. So let's unemploy a couple of these workers, get them back to building and sciencing. So you can see how this works. If I want the floodgate to go all the way down, you can see the little hammer in there goes all the way down. Halfway up would let it fill up only if this water is above halfway. And this basically turns it into a completely locked dam. This is as high as the ground, whereas the dams are about 0.75. They're a little more than half, but not enough to block everything. So we will keep this at half height until the dry season is officially here and this water runs out. Once this water runs out, we will raise this gate. Now, as we wait here, we're looking at about 90 wood planks, 72 water. It would probably be smart of us to get just a little bit more water storage, but we do have the dam, so we're going to be able to pump through a short dry season. And the reason that I know it's short is because we're just playing on normal mode, and normal mode means we have shorter droughts at the beginning, and they progressively get more difficult. So I'm going to put our beavers back to an 18-hour day, and we're going to let them have a little more relaxation. No need for a 20-hour workday when you guys worked so hard to get this thriving community done. So anyways, as we get into the next morning here, I'd just like to thank everybody for watching. This is episode 1 of Saltborough. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and keep an eye out for episode 2. Thank you guys very much. You have a great day.